Palm Royale, the most exclusive club in the world, was where I belonged.
How did you get past security?
I came in the back.
There are no doors on the back of the Palm Royale?
I never said I used the door.
I had only been in Palm Beach 2 weeks.
We don't know you.
I'm Maxine Delcourt.
But I already knew the Palm Royale, the most exclusive club in the world, was where I belonged.
Evelyn, you are the woman to know in Palm Beach.
I don't like you, Maxine.
So, Josh, thank you so much for joining me. So, there seems to be a lot of idea in Palm Royale of this idea of wanting to belong and fit in. So, if you could trade places with any character on the show, who would that character be?
Wow. It's a very good question. You know, I was thinking about, I was watching the Oscars this last weekend, which I thought were wonderful. And, you know, we all, as you're in this business, you look at the Oscars as like the high water mark, right? And particularly when the show, like there are years where it's a bad show, but years where it's a great show like this year, and all the performances that we look up to and admire, right? And so it's like a club that you want to be a part of, you know? And even though I've been doing in this business for 30 years, there's still that excitement and that energy that drives you towards the glamour and the glitz and you know, that ultimate award, right? That ultimate show. And I think in a weird way, Palm Royale is kind of about that, right? It's like the club itself is the Oscars of that community, and this crazy part of our time in this country where the super wealth had these ridiculous parties and tried to like out fashion each other, you know? And so I don't know, you know, Douglas, the character I play, he comes from that world. He's kind of been excommunicated from it. And he left it because he was, you know, wanting to forge his own way. But I see Douglas as this kind of like lost puppy dog, you know, this like not very smart Labrador retriever who's causing all sorts of problems everywhere he goes. And all the characters are so flawed and so fantastic and so alive and so messy. And it's a show that just has such joy underneath it. And so who would I trade places with? I can tell you, as much as I think he's a bit of a fool, Douglas was just so fantastic to play.
Yeah. I enjoyed Douglas a little bit as well as I was watching the show myself. But okay, so there's a lot that's happening here. There's a lot that's going on in the show. So if you could describe it in 3 words, what would it be? And what can people expect from this whole thing?
I keep saying this show is the Game of Thrones of comedy.
Oh, wow.
And what I mean by that is it's a kaleidoscope of a world that is, you know, this true world in that there's the world of the super wealth in Palm Beach, Florida in the 1960s when there was, you know, the civil rights movement and all this stuff happening. And these super rich white people are completely like oblivious to what's happening in the rest of the country. And they're having these, you know, wild parties trying to out-rich each other in a weird way. And yet it has, you know, battle sequences, which are the dance sequences and the costume wars that they have. It has, like, you know, evil princesses and like less, you know. So to me, like, that's just the way I keep looking at it. And it's a kaleidoscopic story that keeps like unfolding. It becomes a bit of a mystery. It becomes a whodunit. It becomes you know, it's an adventure. It's got all that going on. So to me, that's the description I've found for it.
Yeah. So without spoiling, what was your favorite scene or episode to shoot?
Oof. The golf sequence was pretty great. I mean, and you know, so much of the performance, Douglas is just drunk. You know? He's just dead drunk. And
I feel like he stayed drunk a lot throughout the show.
Yeah, and I think a lot of these people live in this world where they start drinking at 10 o'clock in the morning because they have so much money, and then they go golfing, and then they go out to dinner and drink some more, and then they go to a party and drink some more. So they live hungover and drunk. And so that whole, and you know, being out there on the golf course with Ricky Martin and his bar cart, you know,
Yeah.
and always calling his, you know, being so unaware of him, like meaning I don't even know his name, and he works for me every day, you know, this like this kind of level of vapidness that these people live in was just terrific fun to play, but I also think has this kind of true undercurrent of commentary to it in a I think a hopefully like joyful way.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Josh, thank you so much for your time. It was really nice speaking with you, and I can't wait for this to hit Apple TV. This is really exciting.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.